What's up, y'all? I am about to head over to the thrift store, and I thought that I would take you along with me for a sourcing trip. Now, there are various places that I source items for the shop, but this is one of the most accessible places. So, here in the States, it's called a thrift store. In the UK, it's often called a charity shop. Either one, you know what I'm talking about. So we're gonna go and we're gonna go check out what we can find at the thrift store. This is what a typical sourcing trip is gonna look like for me. Right now we are in the throes of winter and I'm currently at the shop sort of just getting some stock of what we have and what we could use more of. Right now I always think that we can use some more sweaters. So I'm gonna check for the sweaters. I'm gonna see what they have in terms of jackets, maybe some shoes and some boots. I'll be honest, I have not been having too much luck with finding interesting shoes, so I'm not sure how that will go. I've also not been finding too many good bags. I'm gonna get into a whole other video on another day on how much I think thrifting has shifted over the years, but that's for another conversation. So let's get in our jacket, let's get ready. Let's get ready for this Michigan weather. It snowed the other day. I'll show you outside of the shop. Nice and snowy. But we do have our holiday vibes going on in the window. Alright, so let's get ready to go. It's been almost 5 years since I moved to Michigan, and I will be completely honest in saying that I still struggle with the winters here. It is very common to go days and often weeks without seeing any hint of sun in the sky or any blue. I'll be honest in saying that sometimes these sourcing trips are one of the few moments of excitement that I have during an otherwise bleak and very lackluster time of year. Oh my god, what is my life? So today we are going to be doing our sourcing trip at the Value World thrift store. Where I grew up in Maryland, these are called Value Village, but here in Michigan they are called Value World. They're basically the same thing. I should have some tactic for how I attack these sourcing trips, but I'll be honest, I just go through the aisles and see what sticks out to me. When I first walked in the store, I saw these vintage sewing patterns, and I am still grieving and mourning the loss of Joanne. All of my sewing girlies, you feel me. So I was so excited to see a lot of these patterns, and ironically, a lot of them feel very modern and contemporary, especially since the 80s are trying to come back. Right next to the box of sewing patterns, I saw this beautiful beaded bag. It seemed like it was just waiting for me to come and get it. I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but I feel like every thrift store has the same person writing the tags because I don't know what the hell they say, and they all look the same to me. It's as if the same person is going to all of the thrift stores and writing tags. Anywho, I kept going through the aisles. Often I will sort of look on the edge and just see any fabrics or colors or materials or textures that stick out to me. I saw this beautiful set. I thought it was really fun. It is by Northern Limits, and it was a leather set with trousers and a vest. After inspecting it a little bit more, I decided not to get it, and I headed over to the linens, and this is an area that I feel is often pretty overlooked at the thrift stores. I love to come and see what they have in terms of napkins, tablecloths, and especially the placemats. I think that these are amazing for so many DIY projects, and so I don't always have an idea in mind of what I want to make. I am very much so the type of person that just knows that I can make something. So for these, I did have the inkling that I wanted to make some totes and some purses for the spring and the summertime, so I grabbed those. And I was just looking through the rest of the textiles. These can be used for bandanas, these can be used for purses, these can be used for really cute crop tops that you can make. So I love finding things, and this is where I found one of my favorite scores. This feels like a beautiful woven rug, but they were placemats. Looking at it now, it actually looks much more like a Christmas snowflake pattern, and I don't know why I didn't see that at the time. It sort of felt like an oriental rug, but anywho, I was excited, and I think it was only about $2.60 for the entire pack of the 4. I saw another box of sewing patterns. I'm not sure where all of these sewing patterns came from, but I grabbed quite a few. Then I continued on to the aisle that had some skirts. I will be very honest in saying I do not have the patience or interest to look through blouses at the thrift store. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's because I gravitate towards fun and exciting and unique accessories and pants more. I'm not sure, but that is sometimes the aisle that I just skip over. I saw this purse, which I thought was really cute, but it was fake leather, so I decided not to get it. But I did see this purse, which I thought was really cute and really fun. It has this faux fur trim with this basket weave, and upon inspecting it, it looked like it's by Bath and Body Works, so I think that this is probably for an older set, maybe like a holiday collection for, candles and soaps and lotions. I did put it in my cart, but I decided not to get it when I got to the register. I went over to go and look at the dresses. Oh my god, this hanger, it was struggle city over here. I eventually just decided to give up because what is going on? Dresses are some of my least favorite items to source at the thrift store, primarily because I find that dresses, more than any other category, have the highest amount of fast fashion options. So I was looking through the rack and it was just Shein upon Shein upon Shein. There was quite a bit of Fashion Nova, quite a bit of Pretty Little Things. This is going to be a completely different video that I will tackle this topic, so I won't get into it too much now, but there is so much fast fashion flooding the thrift stores, and it is really decreasing the quality of the pieces. I always take a look through the shoes, and I saw this pair of boots, which I thought was really cool and very cute. I was going to get them, but I inspected the back of the shoe, and you can see that the pleather is starting to rip and tear, so that was a little sad, but I spent about 2.5 hours at the thrift store, and I still didn't get through all of the aisles, but I was getting tired at this point, so let's head back to the store. Alright, so we are officially back. We are back. I don't know where that came from. So we're back at the shop from our sourcing trip. I think we got some really good things. So thank you for coming with me. It was so nice having you. So I'm just going to go through some of the things that we got. And let's see. Yeah, let's just see what we got. So let's get started. Also, I'm not going to go through everything because I have quite a few things. So let's go through, let's say I will pull 15 items that we ended up getting today, and we can see what those are. So yeah, let's get started. So I was really excited to find this. This is an 80s sweater dress with a gathered waist. This is by a brand called Impromptu, and I thought that this was nice. We don't have many pieces from the 80s, so I thought it would be nice to include this, and it has a little bit more feminine vibes than I normally carry. I also found this really beautiful velvet shift dress, and it has these beautiful details. They are clusters of 3 beads. It sort of looks like a midnight sky. I'm struggling to get the camera to show you the details, but it creates a really nice ombre sort of beaded detail, which I find to be really fun. I actually don't carry too many short dresses, so this was a great find. I absolutely love this piece. It's an acquired taste, but I really love the pinstripes, and I thought that this would be really nice to style for I don't know, some masculine vibes that are going for, I don't know, office siren. I don't know, just give me some time to style this one. This was a fun knit red dress. It is very long and it has balloon sleeves, but it has sort of like an A-line structure to it, so it is fitted and then it billows out. I do need to do some mending on this dress. There are some tears, I think just from the age and maybe some moths, but otherwise this is a fun one. So I found another dress. This is a long tank dress. This is actually dead stock. This is 90s era, and it has these really fun moments of details with this stitching and then where the embroidery intersects. I awkwardly popped out there, but when the embroidery intersects, it has a nice rhinestone moment, which I think is such a fun detail. This is by David Warren, and this is going to be for summertime. So this one is very fun. It's a deep forest green bodycon dress, and the brand is Rave Up. From the research that I did, this is about an 80s era dress and was very popular for rave styles. So not everything in the shop is vintage. I do purchase a lot of secondhand items and also some fast fashion items. This is by Express, and I'm very much so of the belief that items that have been produced are better off in your closet than in the landfill. So I do sometimes curate pieces that I think are interesting style-wise, so I'm excited to see how this looks on a figure. This was a cool knitted bucket hat. I love that style of hats, and this was by We Wore What. I thought the price was good. That is about $4.80, and it was brand new and retailed for $55, so I thought that was a good deal. So this is a really good score. This is a 1950s cocktail jacket with a genuine fur trim collar. I am going to inspect it a bit more. I'm not sure if it is rabbit or raccoon fur, but it is genuine. If you weren't aware, Detroit was actually established by the French as a fur trading post. So Michigan has quite a bit of a strong selection, I would say, in terms of vintage furs, considering that much of the city and the state's economy was literally established for the trading of furs. So we have quite a few options to find good furs here. So I loved the color profile. It looks a bit more purple, but in person it's actually more of a royal blue shade. This is a knit vest by Talbot's, and I don't know what's going on, but I feel like I'm turning into that archetype of that sweet English teacher that just has a wide array of vests, and I'm here for it. I am excited. So I actually might keep this for myself. I really like it, but we'll see. So this is a wool blend skirt, and this is by a brand called Field Gear. This is from the 90s, and I think that this is great for fall and winter. I'll be honest that I don't curate enough short skirts because I don't really wear them, but I am trying to just work on my blind spots, so I grabbed quite a few of these mini skirts. Then I ended up finding this really cool jacket. It sort of gives me Trinity vibes from The Matrix. This is by a brand called Renee Raquel, and when I first saw it, I thought that it was a genuine leather that had some really nice distressing, but it is a fake leather, so this is actually a polyurethane jacket, but I still like the weathering. I try not to carry too many fake leathers for the vintage items, but in all honesty, sometimes they just look really cool, so I ended up finding this as well. This is by a brand called Harvey Bernard, and this is a wool blend boucle jacket. So I thought that this one was really fun, and we don't have too many jackets in the shop right now that actually have this sort of cozy, warm feeling. I feel like the tones are a lot more warm and a lot more earthy, so I thought that this would be really nice. We have a lot of those options for men, but I haven't done as much as that curation for the women, so I grabbed this. And in contrast, I found this really bright blue coat. So this is a nylon coat. It's actually more of like a raincoat, and it has this plaid flannel lining with a corduroy trim collar. So it actually feels incredibly modern. So I did end up getting a few non-clothing items. The first of which is this Kodak M24 Instamatic Super 8 camera. So this shoots video. This was about $18, and for the most part you can find one on eBay for about $20. So I thought the price was fair considering it didn't have to pay for shipping, and it does include the light. Now I am a photographer, and so I always find cameras and collect them. And that led me to finding this as well. So this is actually a 35mm adapter, and I was very excited to find this. You all can also see it has the spool attached to it, and this is for a Yashica, which I do have. So this was actually a really good score. Last but not least, I found this CD player. Now, this is just the nostalgia in me. This was absolutely an unnecessary purchase, but I really have been wanting my son to know what media like this looks like. He's 16 months, so I'll be keeping this for him for a while. What's up, guys? I'm just popping in because I am doing a lot of recording and editing today, and I realized that I forgot to sort of wrap that video up. But thank you so much for joining me on this sourcing trip. This was sort of a simple video, and I didn't go into things too extensively, but we do a lot of sourcing, and the thrift store is just one of those areas. We do sourcing at antique shops, estate sales. We also have people who come into the shop for consignment, and we do buying appointments depending on the number of items that we want to take. And so we travel and go source in other cities. We go into people's homes and go through their closets if they let us. I mean, there's all sorts of ways that we source things, and the thrift store is just one of those places. So thank you so much for joining me. If you do want to see more videos of me sourcing and going to the thrift, definitely let me know. I would be very down to make more of those videos. But in the meantime, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you are well. Hopefully, this video finds you in a good space. And if not, I am sending you all of the love. And oh my God, I don't know what happened to my voice there. Um, wow. Okay, that's it. Bye.